is a dimension of sight, of sound, but of no mind. There's a rubber room up ahead. You're entering the Jerome zone.
Hello, Steve.
How about those Icelanders? How chippy and dirty are they, Jerome?
I didn't watch the game.
You didn't?
No, I'm not a hockey fan.
Oh, but that has nothing to do with the fact that the Rangers were playing the Icelanders.
I know that. I don't like fighting. Any kind of fighting.
No, nor do I, because it ruins a wonderful
And did you mean what you said yesterday?
Yes, your money order for $60.
You better not let your boss fight that. He'll have you fired.
Well, listen, some people are questioning why I'm even doing this in the first place, and you can probably understand that yourself. But I'm going to do what I said, and you will get the $60. It'll be mailed tomorrow, so I'm not even going to say it's in the mail. The check is in the mail. But
you always do with everybody else. I think that's funny.
Well, you will get it, Jerome.
Okay.
But you'll have to come through on your end of the bargain.
Right, I promise.
All right.
No more screaming.
Okay.
Because that's not good for my heart.
Well, you could scream, but you don't. With no swearing.
That's a promise.
Okay.
Did you see the article that Joe Sherman wrote today?
Probably on the Knicks.
No. Joe Sherman writes for the Yankees.
I mean the Yankees, I'm sorry. He didn't write about the Knickerbockers. No, I did
All
see...
these guys,
Yes.
I am not interested in keeping. Thurman, the one who they just signed, right. Adrian Hernandez, right. Brett Jody, and Brendan Knight. The two prospects, the one prospect that the two that I'm interested in keeping is Brad and Claston, right? Their first top prospect, and Dave Walling. Now that I don't want Cone here, that's going back. I told the same thing about Wells, and I argued with Bruce about David Wells coming here. Don't sign Cone. It is a mistake.
Oh, yeah, I don't think it's going to happen.
Okay. Where does El Duque end up?
Well,
in California, possibly, for Erstat?
Maybe, yes, maybe Florida.
You really think that Florida's going to trade somebody until they get a GM?
No, you're not going for the bait this time around, are you?
I don't know. What do you think? Where's he going? And then we'll talk about Mr. Scott Layton here.
I'm not really sure. Wherever they can get some good prospects.
Would you make this trade? Alex Graham, Juan Rivera, one of the outfielders, right? And El Duque for Cliff Floyd.
Well,
or Erstat.
Well, I don't think Jerome, and thanks for the call, as Jerome tries to keep the even disposition tonight and not getting too out of control. And see, already the audience is going to be thanking me before too long for offering the $60 for him to get himself on his way to Colorado to see someone special in his life. I don't think that El Duque and a couple of prospects would fetch a Cliff Floyd or a Darren Erstat from the California Angels. All right, 10:52 and 10 seconds. It happens to be the time. What is...
You're entering the Jerome zone.
Hello, Steve.
Greetings and salutations.
Listen, there's three people I want to talk about, and we have to get rid of them.
Number one.
And this pertains to the debacle at MSG.
Number one.
Ron Lowe has to go at the end of the season.
Number two.
Scott Layton and Cheney, and West is now available. There are three teams after him. Golden State, he turned down Golden State last night. And now there are only two teams. The Atlanta Hawks and the Knicks better go after him before he goes there. And I want Cheney out of here. I want Mike Dunleavy here as the coach.
How about his son?
This is to his son, too. And on the Yankees, I'm going to tell you something. They made a big mistake. They needed a bona fide leadoff hitter. I don't like Jeter in the leadoff spot.
Why?
Rondell White will not see one game this year. Not one game. I heard a trade of maybe Shannon Stewart, but they want Nick Johnson and our two top pitching prospects. I am not giving up any young pitching. If you're going to give up young pitching, you give up Dave Walling and a kid named Jason Bereverin,
Hmm.
and you give up those two pitches, and that's it. And if they're not going to do that,
Yes.
I want Frank Catanado, and I don't care what it takes to get that guy in here. They have a kid named Bridges. They have the kid Amante who can play second base. And I trade for him right now.
Jody McDonald.
Because I'm going to tell you something. I don't care what Sid and Jody say. Rondell White was a big mistake. Why didn't you tell me why? And then I'll listen after I hang up.
Well, I'm not
Why
gonna- no.
didn't they sign Damon?
You are entertainment for me.
Why didn't they sign Damon? Even if it cost $15 million, he would have been the perfect leadoff hitter because he hit .454 against the Yankees. Or,
Darren Erstad.
no, Cedeno.
Well, he signed with the Mets.
Yeah, because Cashman got an idiot that's constantly hurt, Steve. This guy will not see one game in the Yankee uniform.
Have you been watching? Have you been watching the Yes Network?
Yes.
And
I tried to get through to Mike and Chris, but I couldn't.
how do they look?
Mike
What-
is 48
what-
years old
wait
today.
a minute. What do you mean by that?
Mike looks older than than his birthday is.
No, he's 48 today, you know.
I know that.
And did you send him a card?
No.
And how does Chris look?
Chris is his normal giant self.
Well, he's very passionate about that team.
And on the Jets, do you think we're going to sign Abraham?
I do, yes.
And where do they go in the draft?
I think it's I think it's like 22nd or 23rd.
I heard the guy Henderson or the guy from Notre Dame.
Yes, I've heard that as well. But here's the thing, Jerome.
And they also need a big wide receiver.
Well,
Maybe they draft
true.
a big wide receiver on the second round and then go defense after that.
Well, I'd go for the defensive tackle first.
No, they need a defensive end.
No.
They need a pass rusher.
Well, yes, but I'm not giving up with what they have already, and they do have a little depth when they signed Steve White, the defensive
And I
end.
don't sign Burton back, and I don't sign Steve Martin back.
No, they're not coming back. No, they're not coming back at all, but the Jets are going to the Super Bowl, Jerome.
Ha! The day that happens, my cup falleth over. I will talk to you next week, Steve.
Jerome, do you realize how entertaining and how funny you can be?
Yes, I know that.
Okay.
You're going to miss me when I go on my trip?
Yeah, you going to use the $60 I sent you?
Yes, I got it in an envelope,
Okay.
sealed.
Take care of yourself.
Bye, I'll talk to you next week.
Okay. There's Jerome. 7:32 and 51 seconds, the time on a Wednesday night on the Fan, New York City. Steve Summers here and you there. Warmy Geist and Dave McGregor, they're on the other side of the partition. 718-937-6666, the number for our Wednesday schmooze until Richard near 10 on the Fan, New York.
The flagship station for Mets baseball is The Fan, Sports Radio 66, WFAN, New York.
Ruben Rivera doing what he did. Mariano Rivera pointing the finger at Scott Brocious. What's with the family already? What's going on with those two cousins? 7:53 and...
The pitcher out, Steve, and you put in Lily or you put in another relief pitcher.
Well, apparently, listen, you saw what happened, and you certainly know what happened, Jerome. I mean, everybody came out to see and check on Roger Clemens, and he was okay to go the rest of that
and
fourth
then I'm
inning.
going to make a point.
Then he goes to the dugout, and everything looks to be okay
They
with the
should have
hand.
taken him out. That's
Well,
what I gotta say.
yeah, but now you say that.
Listen to me a minute. Did you read today's post by Joe Sherman?
I did.
And there was a little bit of an article in there.
With the general managers.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm going to read it to you real fast.
Well, we haven't got a lot of time, Jim.
Don't be surprised if the Yankees make a July trade for a veteran outfielder such as Brian Giles, Clifford Floyd, Darren Estet, Larry Walker, and Shannon Stewart, or Jose Cruz. I'm going to tell you right now, they need an outfielder. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what Tate says. They made a big mistake getting Rondell White.
Well, he was okay. No, I'm sorry, Jerome, I cut you off there, but maybe I shouldn't be. No, Rondell White got a base hit. Shane Spencer got 3 hits already. The outfielder that wasn't that terrific today was Bernie Williams. Jim is calling from Long Island.
Well, happy opening day, Stephen.
Oh, same to you.
Now, as you know, I am at the moment
Excessively pondering the fate of the Yanks, Jets, and Knicks. His is a dimension of sight, of sound, but of no mind. There's a rubber room up ahead. You're entering the Jerome Zone.
It is time for Yankee rehab. And I'm going to give you 3 reasons why this team is not winning the division.
Reason number 1.
Giambi better start hitting, and Jeter better start hitting with men on base, and not striking out with bases loaded.
Reason number 2.
Reason number 2, Brian Cashman for signing stupid Gerald Williams, who shouldn't even be on this ball club.
Well, if he wasn't on the ball club, who'd be out there in the outfield?
Steve, do you remember in spring training when those 2 guys were tearing the cover off the ball?
Well, one of them was Todd Green.
No.
Well, he certainly was. The last game he played.
Rivera and Marcus Stain.
Well, they're just young pups.
I don't care. Bring them up now. Wait, send down Spencer. I don't care what you do with him. Let him start hitting down there, and then trade him. Trade him! Because I'm telling you right now, Steve, even Mike and Chris have said it. And I'm going to repeat again, and I don't care what Doris says either. You're going to see the Yankees make a deal. And the deal is, I'm telling you, the number 1 person that they will make in the next couple of weeks, he wants out of Florida. He doesn't want to be there because they don't want to give him a new contract. Cliff Floyd. And I'm going to tell you something else. They better go out and get another outfielder. Spencer is not the answer. I am sick of Gerald Williams, and they are not winning the division if they don't do those 2 things.
I think we ought to wait because I'm sure that Spencer will get an RBI before.
No way. I don't want him on this team. He is hitting under 200. He is not the answer. Bring up the kids. Then if one of the kids pans out, you trade one of them along with Alex Graham and maybe another pitcher to get Floyd in here. Floyd wants to come here.
No, they have to play Gerald Williams because they owe him $2 million.
He's garbage! Garbage! You understand me? Garbage, Steve. And I don't care if he's making $2 million. Get rid of him! He's 35 years old. And on the Knicks, did you see the article on trading Screenwell and Thomas for Marbury? I do that in a second. I draft Drew Gooden, and the coach has to go, and I want Mike Rumpere, and I want Aaron Davis here, the big wide receiver.
Did you also see that I'm in the paper, and this was very disturbing to me, and it kind of hurt me inside because you know how sensitive I am, that Sprewell was actually late the other day and got up at...
I don't care. Get rid of his butt.
Well, the thing about Sprewell was the reason that he slept so long was because he was listening to old tapes of this program, and that was something that really bothered me a little bit because I would like to think that a professional athlete like Latrell Sprewell listening to my old radio tapes would have maybe gotten himself fully entertained. But nonetheless, he fell asleep, got up at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and got himself into a little bit of hot water. Well, apparently, as far as Jerome is concerned, the Yankees are in hot water. They are struggling. They're not hitting. They're not playing very good defense. And certainly the pitching has not been very good either. And in a way, just listening to Jerome, I'm kind of reminded, although Jerome, of course, tends to push that panic button even on the early side, 15 games into the season. But nonetheless, maybe Jerome does make a good point. Maybe this is going to be not what we all thought it was going to be for the New York Yankees. Obviously, they're not going to go through the season undefeated. Obviously, they're not going to have a 300-team batting average. Obviously, they are not going to lead the American League in fielding, nor are they going to have very good numbers when it comes to hitting with runners in scoring position. It could be, instead of what we all thought would be maybe something similar to 1998, it could be that for the New York Yankees in the year 2002, it's going to be more like 1966.
To Knicks. His is a dimension of sight, of sound, but of no mind. There's a rubber room up ahead. You're entering the Jerome zone.
Hello, Steve.
Well, Jerome?
Listen, I got a question for you.
You were talking Juan Rivera. You were talking Marcus Thames. You were talking
I'll get to that in a
Floyd.
second.
You were talking Bobby
I want
Higginson.
to ask you a question.
You have to apologize to Shane Spencer.
No, I will not.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Homered last night,
I don't care. He's hitting 240. That ain't cutting it.
but his average on the way up.
No, wait. I'm going to make a prediction for you, Steve.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to bet you a dinner.
Sure, I'm sure you'll show up.
I will. In Manhattan somewhere.
Okay. I know a very nice Burritoville.
No, I want a special place.
Like, name a place. Let's put this bet on the table. Name the place.
Okay. There's a restaurant on 97th Street.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Well, a restaurant where?
97th and Columbus Avenue.
Okay, what's the name?
Central Park West.
Ooh, kind of Tony.
Yeah. I'm going to make you a bet.
All right.
In a month, you're going to see Cliff Floyd here.
In a month?
In a month.
So you're talking May 18th.
Exactly when I come back from my trip.
Where are you going?
Colorado, don't you remember?
Okay, and now I do. And you are going.
I got a question for you.
You are going to see a significant other?
No, a friend.
Well, that can be a significant other.
I want to ask you a question. Why is Gerald Williams still on this team?
Because
When he is making $2 million and he's 35 years old.
Well, you just answered
I don't care if he's making $2 million, Steve. Eat the contract and bring up one of those kids.
$2 million is not something to sneeze at.
That's chicken feed in baseball.
No. No, $2 million is a lot of money.
Did you see? Okay.
And there's one other reason too.
Why?
Nobody else wants them.
So you cut them and you wave them.
Well,
and you bring up one of those kids.
you can never, as you know, you can never have enough outfielders.
I want to see one of those kids.
Well, you might.
Okay. I want to. Did you see the article today in the Daily News on the Scott Layton thing? What he should do for the summer?
Right. I did.
How are they going to do anything when they're so kept out?
Well, Frank Isola, who is the author of the article you're talking about,
And then I'll ask a football question.
apparently is fantasizing and dreaming, and we have nothing but respect for Frank Isola.
And who are they going to draft?
Well, probably Yo Ming.
No.
Well, Yo.
I don't want no Chinese center. If they're going to trade Screenwell straight up for Marbury.
Yo Ming in a recent game was 21 for 21 from the floor.
I want Gooden, or I want that guy, the guy who just declared from Memphis State.
DeJuan Wagner?
Yeah, or Wilcox if he comes out.
Ah, the kid from Maryland.
Right, a football question. I heard the Jets are going to draft either Weaver,
No.
Mike Rump.
Well, more him than Weaver. Apparently,
And you know who's slipping in the draft?
Who's that?
Joe's favorite receiver.
Who's that?
The guy from Hawaii. He is slipping real fast. And why is that?
Well, first of all, don't believe everything you hear and read in the paper about the draft.
You can have somebody from the Jets on maybe Friday night
Well, that's possible, sure. We're always trying.
when your show comes on.
We're always trying, although Terry Bradway told Francesa earlier today in the afternoon that the first priority is defensive tackle, second priority would be cornerback. The Jets figure that
They need a big wide receiver.
but not in their first round, and not at the number 22 unless they move up. And the Jets may not be able to move up with only.
Have you heard anything on them?
The Jets don't feel they can afford to move up by giving a number 2 round draft choice or their second pick. They only have 5.
In the third round, they could pick up.
Well, that's possible. That is not their most pressing need. Is not wide receiver. It's sort of like hearing about the Giants, who may want to go after a tight end. Please, they need help in other areas. The Giants do. They need offensive linemen. The Giants do before they need a tight end.
Ask a question.
Yes.
Have you heard anything about Sam Adams signing or that guy from Dallas signing yet? Because if I think they do that after the draft, they're not going to have to draft a defensive tackle.
Well, they'll see what happens. They would have, and thanks, Jerome, for the call, they would have a little bit more, if they were somehow to get themselves a stud defensive tackle or a 3-technique defensive lineman, as Bradway was talking about with Mike Francesa, which in layman's language basically means what the Jets would like to draft, if they're going to draft a defensive tackle in the first round, is to get somebody like Warren Sapp.
Guys, at the beginning of the season, I didn't want Rondell White here. He's injury prone. He can't play the field. He can't hit. Second of all, I don't know what this big thing about Torre having Spencer in the lineup when we got Thames sitting on the bench. Give that kid a chance already. And I want you to look up a guy that they drafted who's hitting very well in Norwich, and his name is John Ford Griffin. If you think this team is going to win a pennant with stupid Spencer in right field and Vanderhall in right field, you are mistaken. And did you see the article on Mr. Floyd?
Which one now? Cliff Floyd? Which one now are we referring to?
The one on Friday by George King.
Saying what?
That the Yankees are going after him.
Well, we've known that for how long, Jerome?
But I'm not going to give up Nick Johnson.
Well, I don't see the Yankees trading Nick Johnson. I'd be shocked if they do, Jerome.
Like you said, Joe, they need a bat. When is Cashman going to realize this?
Well, maybe he's realized it already, but, let's wait till the trading deadline and see who's there on July 31st.
Why does he continue to use Spencer? He's hitting 244, and I don't care what anybody says. He's a good defensive outfielder. I'll give him that.
He definitely is.
But I'm going to tell you something. They need a big bopper in right field.
They're a game and a half out of first, Jerome.
I don't care.
They're leading in the wild card.
Outfielder, Joe.
All right. Anything else you want, Jerome?
Yeah, I want the Knicks to draft Wilcox and get rid of some of that garbage that they got on the bench.
All right, well, I'm with you there. They can get rid of everybody. It wouldn't matter to me.
How about Thomas and Screenwell for Andre Miller?
Both of them for Andre Miller?
Yeah, would you do it?
Probably. I probably would. I probably would do the trade.
Or would you trade Screenwell straight up for Marbury?
No, I don't want Marbury. I really don't. Marbury's kid, I'd much rather have Andre Miller.
Read the article in the Times. They can't trade Giambi and Screenwell. Nobody wants them.
Well, this is not news, Jerome. Is this something we don't know? Really, is this something we don't know?
And could you look up the statistics for that outfield that I'm talking about?
What's his name again?
John
Francis Ford Coppola? What's his name? Oh, John Ford Griffin. All right, I'll check him out.
I think he's in Norwich or Tampa.
All right, you okay?
And where the heck was Giambi going?
Well, the play we just saw when he hit the ball off the wall and got thrown out of third base?
Where was he going?
Well, he would have been safe if he didn't overslide the bag, Jerome.
You'll stay at second with Bernie coming up.
All right, you calm now?
No!
Are you watching the game?
I'm watching the game.
Are you enjoying it?
I didn't enjoy last night.
Well,
Why in the fifth inning, Bernie Williams with a 3-1 count, he swings at the ball.
Trade him.
Wait!
Jerome,
the guy would have walked.
Get rid of him. I'll tell you, I got a perfect trade. You don't want Bernie? We'll give you Jay Payton even up, okay?
No, thank you.
I'll throw Timo in.
Right fielder, and I want to get rid of that piece of garbage Spencer.
All right.
And if they don't, they're in trouble.
Jerome, I don't know if you notice or not, before you see Jerome hangs up. And what are you hanging up on me for, Jerome, huh? Is there any truth to the rumor that Jerome is going to be doing a Yes special with Shane Spencer? I think that's what they should do. I think we should have Jerome, Shane Spencer, and Rondell White all on the Yes Network together discussing their abilities to get the job done for the Yankees. 718-937-6666. Joe Beningo with you here a Saturday afternoon. A little Chicago, taking us to our next commercial break.
Steve, I'm going to pull my hair out and I'm going to break the TV if Torre does not start putting Thames in right field. I'm sick of saying Spencer. In the first inning with a man on second base, he can't get one hit. He is hitting .240 with 3 home runs and 22 RBIs. That is not cutting it, Steve.
Jerome, you have to understand that not every Yankee can hit 300.
I don't care, Steve. They have a kid down there, Billy McMillan, who's hitting over 325. You look at his statistics and bring him up. If they're not going to use Thames, send Thames down. And then when Floyd or somebody else comes available, I want a new right fielder. I am sick of saying Spencer. I don't care what anybody says, Steve. He has to go. He has to be released, and they got to bring up one of those young kids.
Who do you think the Knicks are going to get?
Brian Cashman, if you're listening, you better not let Floyd go to Seattle or Oakland, or you're in big trouble.
Do you think the Knickerbockers will retain both their number 7 pick and their number 36 pick in the second round?
Yes, because Frank Osola was on MSG. He said it's going to be Wilcox and possibly Push Williams, the guy from Fordham.
Yes.
Would you do that? Or would you go big with the center from Arkansas State? And I'll give you his name. Jason Jennings. He's 7'2", and he blocks shots, and he's quick.
No, I would go for Melvin Ellie of Fresno's. Maybe they should go for Dan Dickow.
No.
Maybe they should go for
How about a trade?
How about DeJuan Wagner?
No. I want Wilcox.
How about Casey Jacobson?
No, he's not a center.
Well, how about, let's see.
Jason Jennings out of Arkansas State.
Well, tell us about him.
He's 7'2". He's quick. He's about 270 pounds. I think. I'm not sure on that, but you can find out. Maybe you can find out from somebody. And then I trade Greenwell and Thomas for either Baron Davis or Andre Miller. Because Mark Jackson is going to retire. I don't care what they do with Ward. Eat Ward's contract and get them both out of here. But I'm going to tell you one thing on baseball. Cashman, if you're listening, you better not let Floyd go to Oakland or Seattle or you're in big trouble. And why isn't Torre using Thames? And if they're not going to use Thames, bring up Billy McMillan and look up his statistics. I got it right in front of me in the New York Daily News on Sunday in a minor league report. I want another outfielder. I don't care what anybody says. Say Spencer is finished. Hey, Steve, you know what I want to say, but I'm not going to say on air because I'll get suspended.
Thank you, Jerome. I wonder if Jerome is aware that Jason Jennings out of Arkansas State set a school record with 102 blocks. I wonder if he's also aware that Jason Jennings of Arkansas State posted the first triple-double in school history with 31 points, 10 rebounds, and 11 blocks against Morris Brown. I wonder if Jerome is aware that Jason Jennings of Arkansas State led the team in rebounding 12 times and in scoring 7 times and reached double figures in 20 of 29 games. I wonder if Jerome is aware. I wonder if Jerry Recco is aware of anything.
Not really.
It is 12:20 and 5 seconds on a Wednesday morning in the family. Let's do the 2020 with Jerry Recco.
Bobby, what are you going to do to shake up this lineup? Your offense is struggling right now. What are you going to do to it?
Well, Mad Dog, I think we're going to move Timo up into the cleanup hole. He's got some good power, and we'll probably back him up with Cedeno, and I think we'll put Mo Vaughn in the leadoff spot, get some speed there at the top of the order, and we'll bring in Layton to pinch hit whenever we need that clutch hit.
I think if they, Sean, are on the Yes Network, we're going to have to say that you belong on the No Network.
Oh, that's a bad job by Steve-O. Thank you.
See you, Sean. And we'll give Sean maybe a D for effort. How was that DNA lab?
I don't like it. Listen, were you listening to Peter Gammon's? Were you listening to ESPN last night?
No.
You could forget about it. That deal with Montreal and Florida is off.
Oh, yeah, I did hear that.
I'm going to tell you something.
Why?
I'm giving Brian Cashman an F grade. And I'm going to tell you why. I told you at the beginning of the season, Rondell White was going to be a bust. And he is a bust.
But he's a nice guy.
I don't care. He can't field and he can't hit.
So you're not...
And he's always constantly injured. I don't like that move at all.
So Mondesi and Weaver, not enough.
They should have gone. Did you see the article 2 weeks ago where it said Florida was interested in El Duque?
Yes.
They wanted El Duque, the pitcher they sent to Oakland, and the outfielder. And they wanted Nick Johnson. I want to give them Nick Johnson if it means getting Floyd, because they got another first baseman. Look up his statistics for me when I hang up. His name is Scott Siebel. See what he's hitting. And if they could have given Scott Siebel instead, they could have had Floyd in right field. He blew it. And when Mondesi falls on his face, just like Rondell White did, I'm going to call you back, and I told you so. One thing on the Knicks, they better go out and get Baron Davis and trade Greenwell and Thomas and Ward and a second-round pick and bring Aaron Campbell in here and Baron Davis in here because he wants to come to New York. And I'm telling you, Nedved is going to Calgary.
No Baron Davis. Baron Davis.
Yes, I want Baron Davis here. He wants to come here, Steve. He better make something happen because if this team stays the same, like Joe says, that deal makes no sense at all. I'll talk to you next week when Mondesi falls on his face.
Joe who?
Joe Beningo said it.
Well, so...
And I agree with him.
Okay, but it's not
going to... That deal for McDice was stupid if you're not going to get a point guard and you're not going to get a center.
Dave LaGreca and Eddie Robinson say no Baron Davis. And
I don't believe. Read the paper. Read my lips.
He's not coming.
He don't want to be in Charlotte.
He's not going to be in Charlotte. He's going to be in New Orleans, and he makes $4 million a year, and they have him for another year after this one.
He doesn't want to be there.
Well, tough cookies. He's going to be there and like it.
I'm telling you, he's going to get traded.
Well,
but
not
on it.
No, get ready for Keon Clark.
No.
Get ready for Michael Doliak.
No. You don't make a deal. If you're listening, Scott Layton, I'm going to say something. His butt has to be fired.
Who do you like in the game tonight?
I like the American League.
Why is that?
4-3, because Jason Giambi is going to win the MVP.
Do you think you're going to see an all-Yankee infield?
Maybe towards the end of the game. And on this strike thing, if they go on strike in the middle of August, I don't go back to baseball because they're going to ruin my vacation.
When are you going on vacation?
The 25th of August.
Where are you going?
To the Poconos.
Oh, really?
And it's already paid for.
By?
My mother.
Well, that's very nice. Are you going alone?
Yeah. Maybe I'll meet somebody.
Well, wouldn't that be nice?
And then when I come back, I'll bring them back. Maybe they'll live in New York. Maybe there will be a person who lives in New York, and then I'll bring it to the hocker with you. And then you'll treat me to dinner.
Well, I will do that. But let me ask you this question. What type of young lady do you want to meet? Because there might be somebody listening.
I like Spanish ladies.
Spanish ladies?
Yeah, because they always say they're hot to try. I'll talk to you, Steve.
Oh, my goodness. 8:12 and 55 seconds on what day is it already and what time is it? I have no idea. 718-937. Thurston.
Steve-O.
May I call you Fuzzy? And
there's a rubber room up ahead. You're entering the Jerome zone.
I'm so mad at that Brian Cashman. He's a fool.
Hello?
Hello, Steve.
Hello, Jerome. I think you ought to be one happy camper tonight. Your Yankees win again.
They won. I want to talk about Brian Cashman.
Go ahead.
Did you hear Bill Madden today?
I did.
He He said the Yankees weren't even after Rondell White.
That is true.
Seattle was. I would have let him go to Seattle. You know who should have been the starting left fielder for the Yankees?
Who's that?
Ron Rivera before he got hurt.
Well, you can't help that.
Yeah, I blame that on that thing in right field who put the card out there.
Well, I would blame it on the inventor of golf carts.
Exactly. I told you at the beginning of the season, Rondell White was going to be a bust. And even Bill Madden said it. And even Chris Russo said it. Second of all, he let Floyd go to Montreal. He's a buffoon. I don't care if they had to trade Nick Johnson in that trade. I would have done that trade in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat to get Floyd in here. And I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to call back this station, Steve, when Mondesi falls on his face. That's the end of that conversation. Did you see the article on the Knicks today?
I did.
What do you think about getting Serbiak and that center in Terrell Brandon?
I like Michael Doliak.
I don't like Doliak. If they can't get Doliak or they can't get the center, they need a point guard, man. I don't like the starting point guard. He's not a starting point guard. What I would do is sign the kid Jerome James, and go after Andre Miller. And I don't care what it takes to get him. Get Screenwell out of here, get Thomas out of here, get Ward out of here, and a second-round pick.
Did you watch the Yankees tonight?
I don't care, Steve.
What do you mean you don't care?
I don't care.
Did you watch the Yankees tonight?
Yes, I don't care what Rondell White did.
Well, listen to Jerome. He must have ESP, not to mention ESPN. First thing Jerome wants to know is why do the Yankees still have Rondell White? Maybe because of this.
0-1, a high fly ball deep down the left field line. It's way back. Will it stay fair? It does. It's a home run right down the left field line for Rondell White, his 10th home run of the year, and the Yankees lead it 3-1.
What a bum! Get him out of town. 11:19 and 45 seconds Thursday.
Pondering the fate of the Yanks, Jets, and Knicks. His is a dimension of sight, of sound, but of no mind. There's a rubber room up ahead. You're entering the Jerome Zone.
See, my feeling is, why do production when I could have you call? You're better than production. You're better than music and sound effects. Is Jerome with us? Now he is.
I want to talk about Nick Johnson and Spencer.
Wait just a second. How about a good afternoon? How about, no, wait a minute. No, blah, 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 blah. Well, you hold on a second, as I'm going to put my foot down and raise my voice. I expect every once in a while, maybe once a month.
Good afternoon.
Exactly. And how do you feel that the Mets won? How about something like that once in a while?
I don't care about the Mets.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do care about the Mets because I do.
I want to talk about Nick Johnson and Spencer.
Okay.
In the Cleveland series, Nick Johnson blew 2 games for us. We should be up 6 games on the Red Sox.
Okay, how about you trade Nick Johnson?
No, I want to send him down and bring up the kid Siebel. You tell me in the 9th inning, where the heck is he going on that foul pop-up that should have been Soriano's? That's the first thing.
Hey.
Then he blows the game on Thursday night for the Yankees.
Well,
they should have been out of this inning. Because the next guy who came up was Fryman. And you know what he did? He struck out. And even Michael K says they're trying to trade Spencer. If they can't trade him, release him and bring up Thames. Thames is hitting .321 with 10 home runs and 26 RBI. Spencer,
Are you talking about Marcus Timms?
Yes.
No, he's only hitting about .215.
That's not true, Steve.
Well, he was hitting .215 on Friday. He must have had a terrific weekend.
Then Juan Rivera, when he comes off the DL,
well, maybe him.
Spencer has to go.
Well, then.
I am tired of him. He's in 237 State. The not cutting it, I want to send Nick Johnson down, and I want to bring up the kid Siebel. Check and see what Siebel is hitting.
How about Mariano Rivera this afternoon?
Hey, and Bruin, Nick Johnson dead!
Well, Jerome is just, let's put it this way, because he's just not happy with the Yankees having themselves a 3-game lead. And I would imagine that other Yankee fans feel the same way that Jerome does, just out of their minds, and just really as upset as anybody can be. Because let's face it already, I mean, the Yankees at this point, as far as Jerome is concerned, should be undefeated, and no loss is acceptable. And I have the feeling that George Steinbrenner feels the same way. Let us go to Jason calling from Rockland. Good afternoon, Jason.
Good afternoon, Schmoozy. How you doing?
I'm okay. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. I'm not sure about Jerome, though. I've been seeing these commercials for the Paxil while watching the Met games. You should give that a shot. But I want to talk about Roberto Alomar finally starting to come alive. But what do you think? I think now that he's coming alive, it's more. He has more trade value to him. I still think that we have to get rid of him. I just want to.
Down the right field line, Smith into the wall. It's a grand slam, and the Indians win. The Indians win. Bill Selby hit a grand slam over the right field wall.
But earlier in the afternoon, all was peaceful and quiet. Oh, sure, there were some anxious moments for those fans at Shea Stadium in Flushing, and why? Early in the game, the Mets would get themselves a lead on Roberto Alomar bobblehead day. Roberto Alomar, he gets a base hit with the bases loaded. Wait, just...
No family, no friends, just a phone in the sports section. A man obsessively pondering the fate of the Yanks, Jets, and Knicks. His is a dimension of sight, of sound, but of no mind. There's a rubber room up ahead. You're entering the Jerome Zone.
Hello, Steve.
What is it now?
Can I ask you a question?
You may.
About Mondesi. Is there a clause in his contract where the Yankees can get rid of him next year?
Why do you want to get rid of him?
Because he stinks.
Mondesi?
He stinks.
He threw out Holter.
I don't care, Steve. He
What
stinks.
a throw from right field to nail Shane Holter at third.
He stinks.
He's got a great right arm.
He cannot hit.
Well,
they have to get rid of this guy. I told you, Steve, they should have gone after Floyd.
Well,
and next year, when Floyd becomes a free agent, I want to get rid of Mondesi.
Let me ask you, all right, let me ask you.
I want to sign Floyd.
Let me ask you.
Second of all,
wait a minute.
Spencer is out of here in 2 weeks.
Wait just a second. Can I ask you a question? Do you think with the team as it is right now, the Yankees can win the World Series?
No.
Why
There's not going to be any World Series.
Yeah, you might be right.
And
there might not be a World Series the following season as well.
True. Next thing, you can forget about that deal. It's off. ESPN is reporting Minnesota Knicks the deal. I got a better deal for the Knicks to do.
Yeah, but that's...
Sight, of sound, but of no mind. There's a rubber room up ahead. You're entering the Jerome Zone.
Steve?
Jerome?
I'm not happy with Rondell Mondesi. I told you this guy was going to be a bust. Next year, I don't want him on this team. I don't care what it takes to buy out his contract. I want to see Juan Rivera out there. Or there's a kid who they just moved up to Columbus. And let me give you his name. And if you hear from Bruce this week, he knows his name. His name is Adrian Phillips. He's hitting .310, 20 home runs, 54 RBIs, 18 triples, 10 doubles, 15 stolen bases. I want to see that guy in right field, or I want to see Rivera there, or I want to see Floyd there.
Jerome, I have a question.
Yes?
Do you even think there'll be a baseball season next year?
I hope so, Steve, because I'm going away, and if there's no baseball, I think they're going to strike beforehand.
Where are you going?
The Poconos, I told you.
Poconos?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to Denver.
No, I'm not going to Denver, and I'm not going to Florida, and I'm not going on a cruise either. I am going to the Poconos.
Oh, Sounds nice.
Second of all, when are they going to realize that Spencer has to get out of here and bring up one of those two kids? Ron Rivera is now ready. He is off the DL. Spencer has to go.
But they're paying Spencer a little bit more than Rivera.
That's not true, Steve. The guy said we wouldn't have this problem in right field if Ron Rivera had not got hurt. And on Mariano, she's going to be out 2 weeks. The word is, I heard Bruce last night possibly saying he thinks the Yankees are going to try to go after Escobar or the kid named Scott Lavelle. And on the Knicks, Scott Layton's got to go. And I'm going to tell you why. First of all, he had a chance to draft a center from UCLA or the kid from Arkansas State. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
I don't know what his name is from Arkansas State. 7'3" center, but he doesn't have that great of hands. He had a chance to get the guy from UCLA. There were other centers out there that he could have drafted. I would have taken a chance even on the high school kid.
You don't like Michael Doliak?
No. And I don't like the other guy is not going to come here because he wants to play in a warm weather city. This team has no point guard and no center. What I would do is I would trade for Baron Davis and get Elton Campbell in here, or trade for Andre Miller. They need a point guard and a center. And if they don't get those two, that deal that they made for McDyess makes no sense at all. Because I'm going to tell you right now, Thomas is not a center. And you know that. He's going to get killed.
How about
Elton back Ewing?
How about Eldon Campbell's backup, McClure?
That might be an idea.
Okay.
Yeah, but we need a small forward. Who are we going to get to replace Greenwell?
Well,
we have to find a third team. I don't think Baron Davis is going to come here because I don't think Charlotte's going to give him up.
No, and neither is Eldon Campbell.
No, he's a free agent next year.
Well, New Orleans could hold on to both of those guys, and certainly Baron Davis.
How about Andre Miller? We need a third team in there.
Well, can you think of one?
And I don't want Gary Payton here either.
He's not coming here.
No, he's too old, Steve.
No, Gary Payton is staying in Seattle.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
Right.
Yes,
and
he is.
Seattle make that trade.
He is staying in Seattle.
He's not going to stay there. They got too many point guards.
They
got Kenny Anderson there.
No, Payton is going to stay.
How about How about signing that kid from Minnesota and trading Greenwell and Thomas and Ward for Nijinsky, the kid that wants to come here, what's his name, the small forward?
Serbiak?
Right, Serbiak and Terrell Brandon, because next year Terrell Brandon's a free agent, and then that would free up money for the Knicks to sign maybe an Andre Miller or a Jason Kidd.
I think you better get behind Frank Williams.
I don't like Frank Williams. They need a veteran point guard. I'm going to tell you something, and I'm going to scream if they go after Payton. If they do not get a veteran point guard and a center, this team is not making the playoffs. And I'm going to blame it on Scott Layton because he's a stupid fool.
Well, calm down. Now, Payton's not going anywhere, Jerome. He and Kenny Anderson are going to coexist just fine.
No, they're not.
So long, Jerome.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Short Al will get to you momentarily. 7:11 and 30 seconds is the time on a Thursday night on the Fan New York City. Steve Summers here, you there, until Richard near at 10 on your Fan New York.
You know, I told you at the beginning of the season I didn't want Rondell White on this team.
How come you never say hello, Steve?
How are you doing, Steve?
I'm fine.
I'm not doing so good.
Why is that?
My friend is having a lot of problems with her daughter out in Colorado. She caught her smoking reefer.
Whoa! Does she know Tony Tarasco?
Funny. It's not a funny thing, Steve.
Oh, of course not.
And then she's now threatening to throw her daughter out of the house.
Well, listen.
And she's only 15.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear this, Jerome. See, you understand there are more important things.
She's stupid. She should have let me come out there to help her.
Well, this is true. And see, I think you're...
She also threatened the cop.
I think you're beginning to realize, Jerome, there are some things in life a little bit more important than the outcome of a baseball game.
She threatened the policeman.
Well, see?
And she got her probation extended. So I told her tonight, I said, once your probation is up, look at all the things that are happening to you. You should come back to the city with your daughter.
Maybe you can go out there and help, Jerome.
Can't. Going on vacation. The 25th. She's coming in on the 15th of August. I'm going to give her a good talk.
You're gonna take a vacation with all of this going on?
Hey, that's her problem, not my problem.
Well, hey, what kind of a guy are you?
Steve, she's coming in, and I'm going to give her a talking.
Well, is this before or after your vacation?
Before my vacation. She's coming in on August the 15th.
I see. So your conscience will be okay by the time you go on vacation to have a good time while they're in all kinds of trouble in Colorado.
I told her, I said, Vanessa, you should come back to the city and the heck with Colorado.
And what'd she say?
She just brushed me off and didn't say anything. But I'm going to talk to her face-to-face. It's better to talk to face-to-face than, on the phone, because you don't accomplish anything that way.
Well, that's why you should...
Okay, let's get to Mr. Rondell White here. This guy is the worst fielder. I don't know what the Yankees have to do, but they got to buy out his contract, and they got to put Juan Rivera out there, or that kid I told you about.
Well, you know what? I think because they made...
And then I'll talk about the bullpen.
Well, I'm just saying I don't think they're going to do that. And Rivera is not going to get any kind of meaningful playing time. He'll get called up.
He should.
He'll get called. Well, maybe he should, but he won't. He'll get called up.
Why?
He'll get called up because the Yankees are winning.
They have to get rid of Spencer.
On September 1, when you can expand the rosters, Rivera...
I want him up here now.
Well, he's not going to come up now.
Why not?
Because they're winning. Because
trade Spencer for some bullpen
Because
help.
Jerome.
I don't care what Cashman says. They need another left-hander in that bullpen until Mariano comes back. You saw what happened tonight.
No, but they called up Randy Choate.
I don't like Randy Choate. He's another...
Jerome, see, here's what the Yankees are doing. They're looking at the overall picture.
Either Gammon says they're going after Gordon. I don't want Tom Gordon here.
No,
the guy I want is the guy from Pittsburgh, not Mike Williams. His name is Scott something or other.
Sarabak.
Right.
Yeah.
He's got an earned run average of 2.19. He's 4-1. He's got like 19 saves.
Yeah, that guy might end up with the Mets.
No way.
Well, he might.
No way he's going to end up with the Mets. The Mets do not have the prospects to send him over there.
I think...
have to get rid of Spencer, and they have to get rid of another minor leaguer. I'm tired of Spencer. He is the only tradable guy on this team, Steve. And if they don't trade for another reliever, you saw what happened tonight with the damn bullpen.
Jerome causing his own explosion. And that is not even production on our part. The Yankees winning with Rondell White, winning with Shane Spencer. Boston mathematically eliminated tonight, losing to Montreal, but losing to Boston. Interleague play is over. Boston losing to Baltimore 9-2, 5 out. It's over in the American League East, even with Shane Spencer and Rondell White.
But of no mind, there's a rubber room up ahead. You're entering the Jerome Zone.
Steve, I'm going to tell you right now, I am so mad at Brian Cashman. Early in the season, they had a chance against Floyd, and they...
I'm sorry?
Turn that song off. You better stop doing that to me. Every time I get in the phone, you do that to me. You better let me finish what I'm saying.
Go ahead.
They blew it. Even Michael K said there was a deal on the table to get rid of Juan Rivera, 2 pitchers, and Nick Johnson, and I would have done that in a heartbeat. Then tonight, he put stinking Vanderhall out in left field. I'm tired of Vanderhall. I'm tired of Spencer. You got to play White every day. And if you're not, I want to see Juan Rivera up there. And don't tell me he's not ready. He is ready. And I'm going to tell you something. They better bring him up now. Now. And tell me why. At the damn trading deadline, they didn't go out and get a left-handed reliever.
I think they're very happy with Randy Choate.
I'm not happy with Randy Choate. And now I don't think there's a Chelsea. I'm going to tell you right now, they don't bring up Juan Rivera, they're in trouble.
Jerome? Is Jerome there? I guess not. I was going to ask him how the Yankees were doing, but we'll find out from Bob Usler now on the Fan New York.
Sports Radio 66, the Fan, WFAN.
Really bad news if you're a Metropolitan fan, because Jack from Milford, Connecticut has done with the instant access. Steve, if the Yankees and A's run out of pitchers, will Steinbrenner or Selig stop the game and declare it a tie? Great managing, of course. The Selig took the hit. It wasn't handled very properly in the Allstar game. But the bottom line is when both Brenly and Torre in the All-Star game are having every pitcher go 1/3 or 2/3 of an inning. One inning was like a long outing for any pitcher in the All-Star game already. Barry Zito went 1/3 of an inning in that game. They ran out of everybody. And Padilla, God forbid, could go more than 2 innings. And the next thing you know, they declared a tie. It doesn't matter all that much. Anyway, can anybody really remember, and don't look it up, what the score was of the All-Star game, say, from last year or 2 years ago or even 3 years ago? And if you know this, it's information the rest of us don't need anyway. 718-937-6666. The number to call. Brett is calling from Connecticut.
Hey, Steve, how you
we
doing?
all want you around. I told Mr. LaGreca that it's going to be a little Mets here, and I felt bad. Last night I was listening, and Doris happened to call, and she went out to the game, and I don't know Doris except from listening to her, and her passion for a team is what mine is for some of my teams, and what yours is for yours. And she sat out in the rain, and she threw in the towel saying that they quit on her, and I didn't see the game yesterday because I was also, as you know, down at the Jersey Shore.
Well, how can you tell the difference if they've quit this season or not? Because they look the same starting in May as they do in August and after one game in September.
Well, not to take Doris's thunder away if she's listening or if she calls later, but her point was, and I didn't see it, but she said Al Leiter, maybe this was the day before, was doing Fox interviews back and forth, and he wasn't doing the clipboard deal in a dugout for the next day pitcher, and he came out and stunk up the joint.
And the Mets now, and as you know, Spike, not to interrupt, I'm sorry for that, I'll give you the last word, of course, but the Mets now with the luxury tax and the revenue share. Hold on, Jerome.
No, don't you start with me, Steve.
Oh, I'm not. Hold on.
Torre blew this game tonight. He should have taken out El Duque. He left him in there too long. Second of all, Mondesi has done nothing all season long. I want that piece of garbage out of here next year.
Well, the game is not
him gone, Steve. You hear me?
Well, Jerome, first of all, the game not even over yet, and he's saying it's now 2 outs. Who struck out, Ray?
Johnson.
Johnson struck out, so there's now 2 outs. And Mondesi is at the plate with 2 on and 2 out. 8-6 Angels, bottom of the 9th inning at the stadium. 2-1 Mondesi keeps the inning alive. The Yankees are going to win this game. I'll believe it when I see it. It's the bottom of the 9th inning. The Yankees have the Angels right where they want them. Down by 2 with 2 on and 2 out in the bottom of the 9th inning. It's Yankee time. And again, Jerome may be jumping the gun. What else is new here with the Yankees? It's not even over yet. Ray, let me know, because is the game over now? The Yankees have lost. I don't believe what I have just seen. I don't believe it at all. The Yankees lost. Please, somebody pinch me. Somebody tell me it's not a mirage. Somebody tell me that it's real. Somebody tell me, wait a minute, it is just some kind of piece of fiction on Fox, just some kind of telemovie put on the game. I want to know what really happened here. Well, the Yankees have lost, and the final score is 8-6 as Mondesi popped out with 2 on in the bottom of the 9th inning, and the Yankees have lost to the Anaheim Angels. You could almost make the argument that the Angels could have won the first 2 games. And Jeter striking out to end the bottom of the 8th inning with the bases loaded on a very questionable call. Now, as soon as possible, we will take you into the locker room for all of the post-game commentary and analysis. There's a cry on. We can understand their disappointment. We can understand their frustration. We can understand they might be numb. They might be in shock. Well, listen. You have a shoulder to cry on. 718-937-6666. The number to call for any and all Yankee fans who are in utter despair. 9-6. And don't forget, the Yankees had a 6-1.
The Jerome Zone.
Jerome, I'm sorry, I almost upcut you there. Jerome, are you with us? Hello, yes.
I'm with you. I am mad at the commissioner.
Why is that?
Did you hear the report on ESPN just now?
No.
They're not going to allow that Cuban pitcher to become a free agent. He has to go into the draft. You know, he has been against the Yankees all season long.
Well, don't you want it to be fair for all teams?
Listen, the guy wants a pitch for the Yankees, man.
Well, so would I.
And I'm going to tell you something. Did you read the article today on page 90 by Mr. King?
How come you always remember the page number?
I remember the writer, too.
You remember the writer, that's one thing, but why do you always remember the page number? Is that so I can look it up while I'm talking to you?
Yeah, when you get a chance, read it.
You're very thoughtful.
And the Red Sox, they better stay away from Stick Michael. And I totally disagree with Sweeney and Chris Russo and all of you. I'm going to tell you something. I got season tickets next year. And if I see that piece of the guy who's in right field again, I'm walking out of the stadium.
Jerome, have you been listening closely to the radio station at, between 8 and 9 in the morning, 11:30 in the morning, and at 2:30 and 5:30 in the afternoon, where maybe your name is called so that down the road in December you can host your own show?
Yeah, but I didn't enter the contest.
Why didn't you wait? Whoa, wait. How come you didn't enter?
Because I didn't.
Well, why not?
I didn't want to.
How about the Jerome Show? A whole hour on Christmas Day.
I'll try to next week.
What's that?
I'll try next week. I have to send in a postcard.
Yeah, listen, you never know.
Listen, I'm going to tell you something. The Red Sox better not touch Michael. Because there's an article here by George King. Red Sox have eyes on
Well,
Stick.
I have a piece... Hold on, Jerome. I have a piece of wire copy right here. And you're probably going to hear from Bob Husler. And I guess when you hear it from Husler, or do you want to hear it from me right now?
Go ahead, tell me.
Stick Michael is going to be the new manager of the Mets.
Get out of here. No way.
You'll hear...
It's going to be Dusty Baker.
No, it isn't. Now, Dusty Baker is from Sacramento. He loves with the whole California scene.
I'm going to tell you something. If you read the little article, they're trying to get rid of White. Sweeney said it, but I disagree with all you. I'm going to tell you something. Mondesi was the biggest mistake of all, and he better be gone, because Juan Rivera deserves to start.
No,
I'll talk to you.
Well, there he goes already. And, of course, I think Bob will also let Jerome know that both White and Mondesi have signed contract extensions. 6:59 and 15 seconds. That is the time on a Thursday.
Wasn't it kidding when you just said that? Was that Mike or Chris?
Both of them.
Okay.
Both of them. And I'm going to tell you something. I got season tickets next year.
Mm-hmm.
If I see Mondesi on this team, I'm walking out of the ballpark. You can count on it.
Jerome, if you do that, we're going to call Channel 11 and see if they'll take the TV cameras out there and film you walking and leaving the Bronx. The Angels, thanks, Jerome. The Angels knocked off the Twins 7-1, so it is, in fact, the final. They take a 3-1 lead in their series. Kate Delaney hanging out with you on the Fan.
All right, let's hear it, Jerome. Lou.
I got some news for you on the Yankees.
Lou.
Will you be quiet? Are you going to let me talk?
Lou, let's hear it, Jerome.
No, I'm not going to say it.
How about this, Jerome, one of the great Yankees?
Well, you know,
How about this? Lou.
I want to talk about the Yankees, man. Don't do that.
We are talking about a former Yankee. His name is Lou Piniella.
Steve, are you going to let me talk, or are you going to do this to me
Go
all
ahead.
night?
No, go ahead.
I got a prediction for you.
Oh.
You will see that Japanese outfielder in left field. Because somebody, I'm not going to tell you his name, off the AP wire, my friend has got the computer. Off the AP tonight, the Yankees will definitely have that Japanese outfielder.
Well, if you're not getting it from Joel Sherman, I don't want to hear about it.
Well, I have a prediction for you. He will be the next left fielder for the Yankees.
Okay.
Okay. I want to know.
Wait just a second. Let's have a conversation. I'll give you your time. What about the idea of moving Soriano to center and Bernie to left?
No, he don't want to play center field. He said it in the paper after the series is over. He wants to stay at second base.
So what you're saying is Hideki Matsui.
Right, will be in left.
Over there in left, and Rivera in right, and Bernie in center.
They're going to try to move Mondesi. They have to.
Well, what do you think?
Okay, have you heard, is it true to
Hold on, I got to, wait a minute, now you brought that up, now it's my turn. What do you think about Lou Piniella coming to the Mets?
Oh, you had a caller there. I think the Yankees, if they don't re-sign Ventura, you know who they're going to sign?
Edgardo Alfonso.
Yeah, what do you think about that? Or I heard they're trying to trade for Mike Lowe. Is that true?
Yes, I've heard that as well.
And what's going to happen with this Cuban pitcher? And then I'll get on to the Nick article by Mark Berman.
Well, some technicalities. He's got to move first. He's got to move from Cuba to the Dominican Republic.
And do they go after Glavine?
That's possible, although I doubt it.
Okay, do you trade Nick Johnson to try to get Mike Lowe?
Yes.
And Juan Rivera was included in that trade?
No.
So you would have signed the Met third baseman instead?
Well, I'll tell you, yeah, because...
And on the Knicks, right? Real fast.
Okay.
Did you read the Mark Berman article today?
I think I did.
About Swift coming here? What do you think?
I hope not.
Why, from Memphis? You don't like Swift?
He's not coming.
I think he is, Steve. And I heard a possible trade rumor involving Screenwell. They're going to try to trade Ward, Screenwell, and Thomas, right, for Bonzi Wells, Stoudemire, and Wallace, I heard.
Well,
that's the rumor that was been going around for the summertime.
How about Nick Van Exel?
No,
how about getting some Dallas players? Come on.
No, I don't want Van Exel here.
Repeat after me.
I'd rather have Stoudemire.
I want you to sleep on two names.
What's that?
Lou Piniella and Nick Van Exel.
No way. Even if you get Lou Piniella, you're still not going anywhere. You're still not going to beat the Yankees, because you know the Yankees will retool, and they will be a younger team next year, and I don't think Henson's the answer. He's going to be a $17 million bust. And when we beat the pants off the Red Sox and the Mets again, I'm going to laugh in your face, Steve.
Jerome.
Good night.
Oh, my. Jerome has to calm up just a little bit. Jerome, I wish he would call me already when he isn't on the medication. But I think Jerome, alone with his own thoughts, and God knows what those thoughts would be, will be one thought tonight. When he is alone with his own thoughts, he will just have to wonder and think, ponder this possibility that the New York Metropolitans might make it to the World Series before the New York Yankees do. Lou is on his way. It's not official. It'll probably become official in the morning. What both sides working on tonight was compensation. We can discuss that as we go to a break. And then Jim on the car phone.
The Yankees are interested in.
When you mentioned Matsui, are you talking about that running back who used to...
No, I'm talking about the outfielder.
Oh, I think.
That the Yankees will probably sign.
And how well is he going to do?
Very well.
Well, by the way, are you aware the Yankees have re-signed Mondesi and...
Steve, I ain't going that way. Please, don't get me mad.
Well, I'm just having fun with you.
I got a trade for you that the Knicks are working on.
Is this coming out of another Joel Sherman article?
No, it's coming out of Peter Vessey's article last Sunday.
I wonder if Joel Sherman or Peter Vesey or anybody else who writes for a living in the sports section...
They love me.
Do they love you? Do you plug them incessantly? And
I'm going to make you, and it's not going to be Van Exel, because yesterday Mark Cuban said on the television he is not trading Van Exel.
Well, listen, who was the first person on this radio station to say...
Yeah, you said it, and you're wrong.
No, I'm not. Wait and see.
You're wrong. I'm going to tell you who the Knicks might get.
Okay, who?
They're working on a trade to either get Rose.
Jalen Rose out of Chicago.
Right. Or...
Doesn't get along with Jay Williams.
Yeah, but Jay Williams is also on the trading block.
Would you play Rose at a 2 or a 3?
3.
Absolutely. Go ahead.